It's Dr. Ram Cheravu here. I'm here to share with you the top lessons I learned from meditating every single day for the past 2 years. Now, meditation as little as like 5 or 10 years ago was some like frou-frou spiritual practice that only some weird people practiced. But it's actually gained some major popularity in recent times, given some research that's come out lately touting the benefits of meditation. And in some circles, it's almost become weird if you don't meditate. So I've meditated on and on throughout my entire life, but over the past couple years, I've decided to meditate every single day, and it's become a staple of my daily routine. So here we go. The first thing that I learned from meditating daily over the last couple years is the level of awareness that I enjoy. So what I mean by awareness is that when I have a particular emotion or a thought pattern that arises in my mind, I become immediately aware of it in my own mind. Like suppose I have an agitated thought, right? I'm like, I just had an agitated thought, right? And having that awareness allows me to recognize it and then allow it to dissipate so I don't become agitated as a result. Which leads into the second point that I've learned from meditation is that I've gained a separation from my thoughts. So before, when I had an angry thought, necessarily I became an angry person as a result. But now, because of that awareness, there's a separation now that I enjoy between the thought that I have and my general mood as a result. So before, I would have an angry thought and I would become an angry person. But now I might have an angry thought, but then I'd recognize it, be like, it's interesting that this particular circumstance in my life made me angry. And that separation allows that anger to dissipate. And I don't necessarily have to become an angry person as a result. So I've recognized that I'm not necessarily the thoughts that I have in my mind. So sometimes our thoughts are not in our control, and trying to control them becomes a fruitless activity, right? So trying to control the thoughts in our mind is like trying to control the breath that you're breathing, right? Thoughts happen almost involuntarily. But if you have an awareness and realize that you're not the thoughts in your head, you are the witness of the thoughts in your head, you can then control the reaction to the thoughts that you have. Now, the third thing that I've enjoyed and I've learned from meditating every day for the last couple years is a profound stillness that I can enjoy on my own. So it's a serenity and a calm and a quietude and a peace of mind that I can enjoy on a moment's notice. It's become like a tool that I can pull out of my back pocket and use at any time, right? Before, my happiness would be kind of in the hands of the circumstances that are always around me. If the people around me were saying the right things, or if the circumstances around me were conducive to my enjoyment. But now I can kind of get into a place of meditation or get into a place of this calmness and serenity. And it's almost this euphoria that I experience of just being in a place of calmness and serenity and just being by myself that I can enjoy at any time. It's a tool that allows me to get back to a calm and a peace whenever I want, rather than depending on the circumstances to align just right around me. And it's a really powerful exercise. Friends of mine always tell me, like, I try to meditate. I try so hard to meditate, but it ends up just being such a frustrating exercise for me. And what I tell them is that the problem with the way you're trying to meditate is exactly in what you just said. It's that you're trying so hard to meditate, right? And meditation is not so much about trying harder, but it's rather about just being. So a lot of times we think about being successful in a particular practice, like exercise, for example, that if I push myself to do one more rep, or push myself to lift a little bit heavier weight, or try a little bit harder to run a little bit faster or a little bit longer, then I can be more successful at exercise. And that's where meditation is different than activities such as exercise, where it's not about trying harder, but it's rather about just being. Right? And that's a difficult exercise. It's difficult to get a hold of. And so that's why breathing and being with your breath is a common exercise that's used to get back to the present moment. And to focus on the breath, it dissipates all thoughts of the monkey mind and allows you to just focus in on the present moment, because you can't breathe in any other moment other than the present moment. You can't breathe in the past and you can't breathe in the future. So focusing on the inward motion of the breath and the outward motion of the breath is an easy, simple way to just get back to the present moment. And the other thing I always say to my friends that say, you know, try so hard to meditate. Like, trying to meditate is like grasping a handful of sand, right? If the harder you try to grasp a handful of sand, a fistful of sand, the quicker it'll dissipate out of your hand, right? The harder you squeeze, the faster the sand will, you know, kind of dissipate out of your hand, right? Same thing with meditation. The harder you try, the harder it'll be. So stop trying to meditate. It's not like you're trying to exercise harder, but rather just be in the present moment by focusing on your breath. So then another question people ask me was, what do you use to meditate? What are the tools, how do you meditate? And I personally use a tool called HeartMath Inner Balance. It's a Bluetooth heart rate variability trainer. It's a biofeedback trainer. It's a Bluetooth sensor that clips onto your ear, and you can purchase online, and it syncs up with an app. And the reason I love it is because you get real-time feedback as to the quality of your meditation. You know, a lot of times you can meditate day in and day out and not really know if you're getting better at it or if you're improving, right? But this HeartMath Inner Balance meditation gives you real-time feedback as you're meditating and tells you the quality of your meditation. And over time, has a compounding effect, and you'll notice differences in your day-to-day life as to how you react to different situations in your life, whether negative or positive. And you'll show up differently in your life and more positive by being more calm and peaceful in your day-to-day life and not reacting to the situations in your life. All right, well, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I'll share more tips and videos with you in the future on different lessons that I've learned throughout my various habits and practices in my daily routine. To get these future videos, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my blog at www.drram.co. That's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.